If you sit far from your TV or want a nice, big TV for watching movies, a 65-inch is the way to go. While they used to be very expensive, 65-inch TVs have slowly become the norm, and you can now get one in almost every price range. The Hisense H8G has the same basic design as the 65 or 8F that we reviewed earlier this year. It is virtually bezel-free on three sides and has a 0.7-inch bezel along the bottom edge that sports a small Hisense logo in the middle with a remote control sensor right below it. The TV is supported by two V-shaped metal legs that can be attached toward the ends of the set or closer to the middle to accommodate smaller surfaces. The back panel is outfitted with 4 VESA-compliant M6 holes for wall mounting. There's a power connector on the back in the right-hand corner, while over on the left, facing outward, are an HDMI port, a LAN port, a composite RCA AV input, and a pair of composite RCA audio jacks. Also on the left, facing sideways, are 3 additional HDMI ports, a digital audio output, 2 USB ports, and a cable/antenna jack. In addition to wired LAN, the Hisense H8G is equipped with a dual-band Wi-Fi radio. The Hisense H8G is a quantum.TV that uses Hisense's yield technology to deliver 4K video with a 240Hz motion rate and 90-zone full-array local dimming. It supports the HDR10 and Dolby Vision high dynamic range video formats. Like last year's H9F, the H9G is a sleek-looking TV. It is virtually bezel-free on 3 sides, with just a thin sliver of chrome trim separating the glass from the edge, and it sports a slight silver bezel along the bottom. Just below the Hisense badge on the center of the bottom bezel are a remote control sensor, a pair of far-field microphones, and a microphone on/off switch. There's also a pair of down-firing 10-watt speakers powered by Dolby Atmos audio technology. The 52-pound 65 H9G is supported by 2 triangular metal legs and has 4 VESA holes around back for wall mounting. Also around back, facing outward, are composite video and audio ports, a digital audio output, and a LAN port. Facing left are 3 HDMI ports, 2 USB ports, a headphone jack, and a coaxial cable jack. The power jack sits by itself over on the right side of the back panel. In addition to a wired network connection, the H9G offers wireless connectivity via a built-in dual-band 802.11 acres Wi-Fi radio. Additionally, the H9G has a screenless mode that lets you use the TV to control other Google Assistant smart home devices such as lights and thermostats, even when the TV is off. The H9G can also be linked to your Amazon Alexa account and will respond to certain Alexa voice commands. The A8G looks sleek, simple, and black. The panel itself measures just 1/4 of an inch deep, with the front dominated by the OLED picture, which is framed by a 1/4-inch black border around the edge of the glass, followed by a thin band of black metal along the sides. The bottom edge of the screen features another slim strip of metal, which holds a barely visible Sony logo on the lower left corner, an indicator LED in the middle, and a remote sensor on the lower right corner. It's a strikingly flat, minimalist look that holds up the TV as a simple black rectangle. While the OLED panel is just 1/4 of an inch thick, the TV fattens up another 1.8 inches with a rectangular black plastic enclosure that takes up about half of the back of the panel. This enclosure holds all of the TV's ports and electronics, the majority of which are located near the left side. An HDMI port, 2 USB 2.0 ports, and 3.5mm ports for composite video input, audio output, an infrared blaster, and an infrared receiver face left on the enclosure, along with a small power button and volume up/down buttons. 3 more HDMI ports, a USB 3.0 port, an Ethernet port, an optical audio output, an antenna/cable connector, and a 3.5mm RS-232C port sit just around the corner on the enclosure, facing down. The best 65-inch 4K TV for color accuracy that we've tested so far is the Sony XPR65x950H. If you don't want to pay extra to get your TV calibrated, this has excellent out-of-the-box color accuracy, and even though it's not as accurate as its predecessor, the Sony X950G, most people won't notice any inaccuracies. It has a VA panel that implements Sony's X wide-angle technology, improving the viewing angles at the cost of its contrast ratio. Its native contrast is still great, and it has a full-array local dimming feature, but unfortunately, its viewing angles are still mediocre, so it's not the best for really wide seating arrangements. It gets extremely bright, enough to easily combat glare, and it gets bright enough to bring out highlights in HDR. It supports both HDR10 and Dolby Vision, and it displays a wide color gamut for these HDR modes. It also supports most common audio pass-throughs, including eARC support, allowing you to send high-quality audio over an HDMI connection. Additionally, it has built-in Android TV, offering a large selection of apps available to download. Unfortunately, it's not the best for gaming, especially for a high-end model. Its input lag is a bit too high for competitive gaming, and it doesn't support any VRR technology, which is a bit disappointing. Overall, this is a great 4K 65-inch TV with really accurate colors. The Q800T isn't as eye-poppingly attractive as Samsung's bezel-free infinity screen flagship models. It also carries all of its connections on the main TV body, rather than shipping with one of Samsung's external One Connect boxes. Naturally, this makes cable management more of an issue. Just because it's not as attractive as the Q950TS, though, doesn't mean the Q800T isn't still easy on the eye. Its frame is trim, its flat rear gives it a crisp, monolithic feel, and its centrally mounted stand is robust and attractively finished. The stand is practical, too, since it lets you put the TV on a narrower piece of furniture than you can with separate feet instead. While its monolithic flat front/flat back design looks cool, the TV is quite a bit deeper round the back than many of today's TVs. This is to be expected, though, from a TV that sports a direct LED lighting engine, where the LEDs sit behind the screen rather than around its edges. As usual with premium Samsung TVs, the Q800T ships with two remotes. One is a fairly straightforward button-filled affair. The other is a small, sleek, metallic alternative with a vastly stripped-down button count and a mic button for accessing the TV's voice recognition features.